What are the impacts of conservation easements? Have you ever wondered how conservation easements affect property ownership and land use? Let's break down the impacts of these legal agreements in a straightforward way. A conservation easement is a voluntary agreement that restricts certain uses of private land to protect its natural or cultural features. The landowner still owns the property but gives up specific rights. One major impact is the restriction of property rights. When a conservation easement is placed on land, the owner may lose the right to develop, subdivide, or extract minerals. However, they can still engage in activities like farming or hunting, as long as these align with the easement's terms. These restrictions are permanent and apply to all future owners, meaning they must comply with the same limitations. Another important aspect is that conservation easements are legally binding and last indefinitely. This means they can lower the market value of the property since potential uses are limited. A land trust or government agency usually holds the easement and is responsible for monitoring compliance over time. It is also worth noting that the landowner retains ownership and control of the property, unlike government regulations. They can still use the land within the agreed restrictions, balancing preservation with personal use. Tax benefits can also be a significant impact of conservation easements. Donating an easement may provide federal and state income tax deductions and potential property tax reductions. However, these benefits depend on the easement's terms, so landowners should consult legal and tax professionals to avoid mistakes. Legal disputes can arise from unclear easement language or misunderstandings about retained rights. Landowners may not fully grasp the long-term implications of the restrictions or fail to communicate these terms to future buyers. To prevent these issues, it is essential to have a well-drafted easement agreement and clear communication about its terms. Conservation easements can also affect property value and marketability. Since they limit development, they may reduce the property's market value. Landowners should consider this when entering into an easement and disclose its terms during property transactions to avoid disputes. Finally, conservation easements offer long-term benefits by protecting natural habitats and open spaces. They allow landowners to conserve their land without losing ownership, benefiting communities by preserving environmental quality. In summary, conservation easements permanently limit certain property uses to protect conservation values while allowing landowners to retain ownership. The impacts include legal restrictions, potential tax benefits, and effects on property value. Avoiding common legal mistakes, such as unclear terms and misunderstandings, is vital for a smooth experience. Proper legal advice and clear documentation are key to navigating these agreements successfully.